The Premier League January transfer window is heating up and some big moves have already gone through that could genuinely change the rest of the season. Today we're looking at the Premier League deals that are happening right now, why they've happened and how they could even change this shift for the title race, the Europa League places and even the relegation battle. So let's get into it. First transfer we're going to be talking about is Conor Gallagher to Tottenham Hotspur. This one's interesting because Gallagher actually comes back into the Premier League after his Atletico Madrid spell. Spurs have picked him up for around £34.5 million on a long-term deal. For Tottenham, this signing is about energy, pressing and having a midfielder who can run basically the whole pitch for 90 minutes. And something like that is very important in the Thomas Frank team. Now, Gallagher brings tons of Premier League experience, his England cap, and he also fits the way Spurs want to transition quickly. For me, this could be one of the transfers that doesn't really get headlines too much, but ends up quietly being a massive signing for Spurs come the end of the season. If he settles into their team quickly, Tottenham's top four hopes could be back alive. Our next transfer is Antoine Semenyo to Manchester City, and this is a massive one. Man City spent around £62.5 million, which is a serious fee for a January transfer window, even for Pep Guardiola. Semenyo gives them pace, direct running, and he's someone who can break the back lines of defences, which Man City haven't always had from wide areas, especially when their injuries build up. He can also play pretty much anywhere at the top of the pitch, which will be extremely helpful when they do get injuries. With the title race being as tight as it is, depth really matters, and Pep Guardiola adding a forward in January usually tells you something about how he's viewing the rest of the season. It already looks like he has adapted quickly, and Man City looks seriously dangerous in every competition again, and that's a really scary thought for everyone else in the league. Our third transfer is Brennan Johnson to Crystal Palace. Now, Spurs let him go for around £35 million, which is a decent fee for them, but for Crystal Palace fans, it's a really exciting signing. Johnson gives them Premier League proven pace, goals, and the ability to attack in transition, which is something that Crystal Palace have always built their best football on. Teams in the mid-table to lower mid-table section often survive or push upwards up the table by adding players with Premier League minutes, and Johnson ticks that box. For Crystal Palace, it could genuinely be one of the best deals of the transfer window when we look back at it in a few months. Next up, we've got West Ham adding firepower with two signings, with Pablo and Tati Castellanos. Now, two attackers coming in during the same transfer window, especially in January, usually suggests one thing: goals are a problem. The relegation zone is always brutal, and clubs who don't score enough goals go down. It is that simple. So West Ham are taking the complete opposite approach: add goals to the team and give yourself a chance. Now, if Pablo can bring the creativity and Castellanos can bring the finishing, they might just have enough to climb out of danger and make the second half of the season interesting, because right now they're in serious trouble. And now, if we just have a quick roundup of a few other interesting Premier League moves. Aston Villa bringing in younger talent like Alisson shows they're clearly planning longer term squad building. Of course, they've got the whole PSR issue going on, and we've already seen a bunch of recalls and loan adjustments that don't really make the headlines, but they do impact squad depth for the second half of the season. With the window being open until the 2nd of February, there's still plenty of time for clubs to panic, and we know they usually do. Title challengers and relegation battlers always make late moves. That's just how the January transfer window has always worked. So honestly, it would not surprise me if we get a few last minute loan deals, emergency strikers, or even midfield or winger signings right before deadline day. The transfer window has usually always saved the chaos for that last 48 hours, and I think it's going to be the same again. So that's your Premier League January transfer roundup so far. Let me know in the comments which move has impressed you the most, and which club do you still think needs to sign someone the most. If you did enjoy this video, then please do smash that like button and subscribe if you're new, and follow me on my socials as well, why not? But yeah, thank you guys so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you stick around, and I promise you won't regret it.